How you guys doing? It's Kerry Sullivan at RockstarTriathlete.com, and today I'm going to tell you guys what you need to know about how to run. The first thing I'm going to talk about is body position. And the reason I'm going to talk about body position is when you talk about body position and you get that right, a lot of things are going to take care of themselves. Primarily is your foot strike. And a lot of people will talk about different ways that your foot can strike the ground. Some will say it should strike more in the front of the foot, in the forefoot, or some are saying it should be more in the midfoot. Basically, no one now is going with the school of thought that you should strike on your heel. So the thing that is, though, is if you get your body position right, depending on the person, they're going to strike either in the midfoot or the forefoot, depending on their own biomechanics or whatever kind of issues that they have going on biomechanically with flexibilities of muscles or whatever the individual may have. So the first thing I'm going to show you is body position. And what you want to do is you want to lean forward, because when you lean forward, basically what happens is you have gravity pushing on your body if this is your body. And a lot of the times you tell people to lean forward and they start going like this and they bend from the hips, and you don't want to do that. It's going to put more stress on your back, your hamstrings, and you're just not going to be as fast. So the forward body lean should be coming from the ankles, and I'm just going to show a simple little drill that you guys can do here with this tree. And basically you're just going to lean forward like so, and this is kind of like the thing that you want to get going when you're running. This is leaning from the ankles and just letting gravity kind of push you forward. So you should almost feel like you're falling a little bit when you're running super fast. And then you can go into doing a drill where you're just going on one leg. And that's going to basically simulate kind of how you should be running like that. And the main thing is you really want to keep those hips nice and tucked in, so you're not here. So just bring the water barrel in, as they say, or the water bucket, so your hips are nice and even. So if it's like this, the water's tipping out. If it's back too far, the water's tipping out this way. Just keep them nice and neutral right in here. Knee from the ankles. That's a great drill you can do just to kind of warm up and just kind of show your body, get your body into that kind of position and doing that things. So this is kind of this kind of what I'm taking right here is a lot like the pose method. So the first thing you have is the lean, or what they call the fall, and then after that also you're going to come into the striking, which you're going to be in the front of the foot, kind of, or in the midfoot, depending on where you're landing. So like I said, if your body lean naturally forward like this, then you're just going to naturally strike where you need to, whether it be in the forefoot or the midfoot. After that, you're going to come into the phase where you're going to bring your leg up underneath you. And what you want to do in this case is you want to bring your foot up next to your knee, right here. And if you really want to go fast, you want to bring your foot almost in front of the knee when you're running. You should kind of focus on that. So that's another drill you can do, just standing right here, just bring the foot right by the knee, right here. It's another one just to kind of get that motion ingrained into your body right there. Just going like that. Then basically, so you're going into the fall, you're going into the pull, and you're just kind of just going like this. And then you're going to strike on the front of the foot and go. So that's kind of the basics of it. So really just getting the foot right here, and then just kind of falling into it, like so. One of the things you can do is you can have someone actually hold you by the shoulders, so you're right here, and they can just let you go, and you can just practice running. If you hear someone say that this person's a good runner because they're a good downhill runner, what they're referring to is their body angle. They say that a lot in football. It's the same thing basically with triathlon. Obviously, the angle is not as steep because basically the steeper the angle, the faster you're going to go. So that's kind of the things there. The other thing I'm going to talk to you guys about is arm position. It's really vital and really key because basically if your arm mechanics are good, it's going to affect a lot, like the rundown through the rest of your body is affected. The first thing is you want to have your arm at a 90 degree or less right in here. So it's just right in here. I prefer to go right in here, and one of the reasons you want to do that is basically the further up your forearm is in position, the more you're actually going to bring your heel up, the higher you're going to bring your heel up. You want to bring your heel up higher because basically when you don't bring your heel out high, it comes kind of out back through here more, and you get a longer lever, and it's harder for your body to actually pull it up. Your biomechanics too, if you bring your heel naturally up higher through here, it's going to your leg's naturally going to snap back down. Your thigh's going to allow that to happen through biomechanics. So basically it's going to be here, it's going to come snap back down. So you're going to keep this arm at less than a 90. So it's right here, and you're naturally going to bring that heel up higher, which is going to help you go faster. The other thing that you want to focus on is your arm going back and forth. Now, the further you bring your arm back and forth, the more naturally it's going to be easier for you to bring your leg back and forth. It's going to basically result in having you have a longer stride going backwards and forwards. So your arm position right here is going to bring your heel up higher. Your arm position going back and forth is going to basically make your stride length longer. So those are two things you want to consider. So keep your arm up nice and high in here, and just try to swing it back and forth further in terms of making you have a longer stride. And the faster you bring your arms over, the faster your turnover is going to be as well. The last thing I'm going to say about arm position is that you want to be going backwards and forwards in straight motion as much as you can. When you start pulling across your body like so, you actually start making your momentum kind of go zigzag. So you're pulling it this way and that way and this way, and you're basically blocking yourself from going in a straight line as effectively. So you want to keep your arm position right here, going nice and straight, backwards and forwards as much as you can. You're going to have some swing in there because that's basically how the body moves. It kind of torques to make you move. But, you want to keep that as nice and straight as possible. Everything else should be nice and straight. Basically, when you're running, you should have more or less a straight line going from your ankle through your knee, through your hip, to your shoulder, to your head. When the leg is nice and straight right through here. So it's just kind of right through here. You want to keep your head nice and straight as well. The other thing too is your hand position is quite important. I use these grips. We actually had Stefan Tamarabucci on, and he was talking to us about his E3 grips. And I actually use those when I run because your hand position is quite important. And more or less what you want to do is you want to be gripping, your tightest grip should be with these two fingers here, your ring finger and your pinky finger. And it's going to be right in here. And the rest of your fingers are going to be a little bit looser up here, so it's just kind of like so. And then you want to kind of like grip with those bottom fingers. And what happens when you grip with those bottom fingers, so you can see my hands loose here, but when I grip, you can see that my wrist joint actually kind of cocks in. And what happens when you do that is you become biomechanically stronger throughout your whole body. And you can actually do this. If you go in and get a partner and you shake their hand just normally and keep the opposite hand just nice and loose like so, shake their hand and then have your partner do the same thing, and then next time do it and have your opposite hand, this hand right here, just take it and grip it as hard as you can, and then shake their hand and have them shake your hand. You can notice a huge difference in terms of strength, in terms of just your grip. That will go down through the rest of your body. So really keeping that wrist joint nice and straight through here, and your arm biomechanics really do a lot to keep your biomechanics on your lower body in check and doing what they need to do. So, like I said, it's good to know where your legs should be. So, you want to have that heel right up next to the knee, coming down forward. You want to be striking somewhere in the front of your foot to your midfoot and keeping that nice body angle. So as long as you get the body angle straight though, and you have good arm mechanics, so those wrist joints are cocked in, you're gripping with these two bottom fingers. Don't go crazy on it though. You don't have to give an absolute power grip. This is going to be a slight grip. Just a slight grip will be enough to cause your wrist joints to just kind of come in. So you can actually kind of do that looking at them. It's like that. You can notice that my wrist joints kind of just cock in automatically doing that. So you're just here, keeping a nice arm cadence, so it's just right here. The arm's going to be up nice and high right here, keeping a relaxed shoulder through here. And it's just right here, going back and forth. And that's going to help you a lot. The other thing that can happen too is when you start telling people to bring their arm up here, they can start bringing their shoulders up nice and high. And if you're having trouble relaxing that when you're running, what you can do is you can actually take your palms and turn them up when you're running, and that'll naturally cause your shoulder joints to kind of open up, and then you'll drop your shoulders from doing that kind of scapular retraction right here. So just boom right here, it'll drop right in there. So you can do that when you're running a little bit too. So those are kind of the basics on running. If you guys have any other questions on how you're supposed to run, definitely leave them in the comments below or in the forum, and we'll get on top of that. That's it.